So, I don't know about anyone else, but I hated fighting Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat X. And the thing I hated the most about it was how he could cancel any string safely into Ice Clone. You'd have to hold it, you'd have to play his game as soon as he did that, and I was really worried he was going to be the same in Injustice 2. Well, good news, he's not. I spent a little time in training mode this afternoon figuring out how to beat, or at least challenge, his Ice Clone pressure, and I was pretty surprised at what a lot of the characters can do. So the first part of this video is going to be all the characters that can beat his clone straight up. These are people that can punish the recovery on the clone and either get a full combo or at least do some damage. And the second half of the video is going to be everyone who can challenge the clone or beat things under certain circumstances, but not without risk. A couple of things. I'm very bad at this game. I'm sure there's way better ways to deal with this pressure. If you know them, let me know. Throw them in the comments. 2, these aren't foolproof. If Sub-Zero cancels into anything else other than clone, like say he goes into slide or shatter, you'll probably get blown up with most of these. So use these only when you're actively scouting for the Ice Clone, like if you're fighting someone who's trying to play him like he was in Mortal Kombat X. 3, I did all these things against Sub-Zero's forward 2-2 string. I did this because it's the furthest reaching and most likely to be used for pressure. I think that's what a lot of Sub-Zeros will use it for. That said, other strings, like his back 1-1, it's a lot quicker, and it leaves him a little bit safer on his recovery, so some of these options might not work as well. So keep that in mind, don't just throw these out. And most of these I'm holding down and back right afterwards, so if something hits, you know it's a real punish and not just stuffing a move. I point out where I am stuffing moves later on in the video. Okay, so let's start off with Atrocitus. The good old puddle will fully punish into a nice big combo. Very easy to do. Aquaman, that top tier privilege. Aquaman has 2 options to beat the clone. He can both use his scoop and from the depths, and he can meter burn both for a full punish. Black Adam, he has a easy answer with the Palpatine hands. He can knock him back full screen. Doesn't get a combo, but boo-hoo, and crying my eyes out for Black Adam. Brainiac. Brainiac gets his day in the sun here. He actually has a lot of answers, surprisingly. His drill will go straight through the clone, but better yet, you can use things like his down forward 1 into drill, and you can use his back 1-2 into drill, and that's good chunky damage, and the benefit of using the normal first is that you got just that little extra second to confirm that you actually hit the reversal window or the counter window, and you can meter burn the drill if you didn't to make it safe. Firestorm. Yeah, Firestorm, he can punish full with his Molten Trap. I think everyone is expecting that. He probably has other options, but who cares? Green Lantern, he can scoop. He's got the Green Lantern's might. Very easy, full punish. Robin's DP, that can give him a full punish as well. Unless you're like me and you don't know how to juggle or you don't know any of his combos, and you just kind of flail around as soon as you hit it. Good times. Supergirl's a weird one. Supergirl can beat the clone with her breath, but she's just hits on the very tail end. Like she does something like 11 damage or something, almost like chip damage. She can't use her meter burn breath. It gets swallowed up by the clone. It just breaks against it, so that won't work. So she can contest the clone really well and get out of the pressure, but she doesn't really get any damage. Swamp Thing. Swamp actually gets a full punish. I guess not like a combo punish, but he gets to use his close fine grab, and that'll do a nice chunk of damage, especially if you meter burn it. And Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman can use her shield toss to cleanly punish the clone, bang Sub-Zero's head around. I didn't try it. I bet she could meter burn and probably get the full combo. I'm not very good with Wonder Woman, so I didn't bother. You can also challenge with her back 2 lasso, and that will crush the clone. It will hit if the guy goes for a duck or something. If he goes for any kind of a button, or he goes for any ducking block, then that will work. And maybe it's a little bit safer than the shield toss. I don't know. Actually, no, the shield toss punishes, so whatever. Alright, and those are the characters that can cleanly punish the cancel into the clone. The rest of the characters here, they all have options to quickly break the clone, but they aren't necessarily safe. Some of them lose against the slide, some of them lose to a jump in. I'll try to point out where that is, but a lot of them is just kind of obvious. So let's start with Bane. Bane's options are not great. With Venom, he can charge through or elbow drop. And it might beat out subs if he's hitting a button, but I don't think it's very... I don't know, it doesn't seem very good. Batman. Batman usually has an answer for everything, but in this case his options suck. You can do an instant air sparks, and that will break the clone and maybe beat out whatever Sub-Zero is doing. It's tricky timing though. You can see I'm holding down back on the character right now, and I'm just barely able to hit him. If you screw it up just a little bit too early, a little bit too late, it doesn't work. So it might be better just to hold the pressure, which, screw Batman, he can hold it for once. Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle can he can break the clones with his ice energy blast, and he can usually block after that, except for a very well-timed slide. Like if the Sub-Zero hits the slide in the reversal window, or like as soon as he's able to, he'll hit Blue Beetle. But it's pretty tricky, so it seems safe. Probably online safe. Captain Cold. Captain Cold I thought would have better options, but he doesn't. His big freeze, the puddle, it isn't quite as quick as, like, say, Firestorms or Atrocitus, so he can't actually get a full punish off it, but it will stuff the slide and just about anything else. Probably loses to a jump in, I didn't try. You can meter burn his ice ball for some stuff, but it seems dumb. I don't think that actually would work a whole lot. Catwoman. Catwoman can break the clone and force a block with her cattail whip. This loses to back 1-1 though, I noticed. The Sub-Zero can duck. Cheetah. Cheetah's options are bad. The one thing she can do, she doesn't have a lot, but she can dive over the clone with her air grab thing. Not very good, but at least you're on the right side of the clone. Cyborg. Cyborg can crush the clone with his Sonic Blast and eat every single follow-up. He doesn't have very good options. But again, if the Sub-Zero is not really doing anything, like if he's trying to go for Shatter or trying to go for Clone Toss, you might be able to stop something there. But not a lot of options there. Darkseid, or Darkseid? Yeah, Darkseid. His low Omega Beam. That'll break the clone, and it might be safe. I think that's recovers a little bit quicker than the standing one. He could also probably just try to teleport and avoid whatever Sub-Zero's follow-up is, but I don't know if that's a great idea. I honestly thought Deadshot would have better options. He can break the clone with his wrist shot and be completely safe, but he can't convert it to damage. I mean, he is safe though. Not even a slide will get him at that point. You can try using his meter burn trick shot if you want to be cheeky, and that will actually break the clone and then hit anything if the Sub-Zero's trying to slide on you or whatever. I don't know if it would be beaten by a jump in. I should have tried the really vertical trick shot, but I didn't. Grodd doesn't have too many options. His ground pound will break the clone. It will hit slide, and it will break any buttons that the Sub-Zero tries to press. But it loses to a jump in very easily, so not very great. Green Arrow, he can break the clone with his trait arrow and be kinda safe. An immediate slide will still catch him, similar to what happens with Beetle. Joker can challenge the clone with his gunshot. I think he's safe enough if the Sub-Zero tries to use an ice ball or whatever. He's just combo stringing into a clone into ice ball like this is Mortal Kombat X. But other than that, he will lose to a slide, he'll lose to a jump in, so not great options. But hey, Joker players are used to dealing with pressure, so this isn't the first time for them. Poison Ivy, her drill easily challenges the clone. You can meter burn it to push back. It will beat any buttons, including slide. So she's got a pretty simple answer there. Red Hood. Red Hood's options are weird. I was very much expecting meter burn mine to be able to punish the clone, but it can't. It's just a little too slow. It will catch Sub-Zero if he tries any buttons, if he tries anything, but that's a lot to risk meter on. Trait shot. He can use his trait into his gunshot to quickly break the ice clone and be safe against things like ice ball. But I think he'd get hit by a slide, obviously, and I think he wouldn't even recover in time to block a jump in. He does have one other option, and it's a weird one. He can use an instant air gunshot, and that will break the clone. It will punish buttons if Sub-Zero is trying a normal or an ice throw clone, or sorry, ice toss, clone toss, or a ice ball. And it will even punish the slide if it's done very close to the ground, but it is pretty hard to do. Not sure how much it's really worth trying for in the middle of a match. That's all the characters I found something for. The other characters, I think there was Flash, I couldn't find anything for, Black Canary, Her Canary Cry doesn't activate in time, and she can't even flip over it. So those characters are kind of screwed. If you have an option for those characters, please leave them in the comments. That would be really appreciated. Alright, thanks.